Yeah, man, it's the 18th of October, 2022. All right, this video I'm going to talk about gang stalking and the practice of torture and how they really go about torturing and kind of just the plot of it all. Because these guys, like, I've got four guys full time that are on my channel all day, every day. And there's been times when it's been two or three. Now it's four. And all of them, all the four guys, they've all been involved at least since 2015 and most likely since 2013 because at least a couple of them have been involved at least since 2013. Now that's when I started to know. That's when things were happening that I can say for sure that I was being gang stalked, and it was a little later than that when it became like a whole broadcast thing with artificial telepathy that made me fully aware of remote neural monitoring when I had to start to look into those kind of things and try to figure it out. Prior to that, when they weren't talking to me out loud, it was just a torture situation then. But at that time, I didn't realize what was going on. So, but I want to talk about these guys, like especially the one I call Marcus, him, and then, not really knowing these guys. These guys are associated, okay? They're in the same group, in the same crew or gang, whatever you want to call it, with the girl that has my neural monitoring. And she is a person that somehow obtained access to neural monitoring long time ago, at least. I could verify at least to 2012 when they had it, but probably longer than that. And what she does is the people that she associates with, she purchases or somehow takes control. I would say you would probably have to buy it from whoever had control of it, takes control of people's neural monitoring. Like if she associates with somebody, she'll buy their neural monitoring and decide if she wants to give it to them or to try to destroy their life. Okay, and I know that neural monitoring is, it's, okay, I want to break it down for the people that really don't understand how this really works. And this is not a theory, this is definitely how it works, okay? Neural monitoring is a satellite broadcast. A lot of it has to do with EMF, the electromagnetic field of Earth, and as like the medium of the infrastructure of this satellite broadcast system. And it's worldwide, global. There's no dead zones or there's no escaping it. I've never had any downtime or lost signals or anything like that. It's perfect. As far as I can tell, with a decade of experience. So neural monitoring is based on your neurological broadcast frequency, and every human has a unique EMF signature frequency. And that's how your signals work. They work on a certain frequency. And if you think something or if you see something or anything that your mind is processing, it can be picked up from your neurological broadcast frequency. So with that, a neurological broadcast frequency is a profile or an interface that's based on your neurological broadcast frequency. Kind of like, if you want to relate it to simpler terms, kind of like your Facebook is based on your name or your username. And you log in and you put in your password, okay? But your neural monitoring is based on your neurological broadcast frequency. And it's either one of two things. It's either online, where you can access it through the World Wide Web, or it's online where you would access it through a program that you obtain that is connected with it through network protocols most likely using a terminal. So it works somehow like that, and everything that they're doing is online. They're accessing neural monitoring online. And here's the big thing, okay? If a gang stalker is doing stuff, if they're gang stalking you, if they're a gang stalker, they have access to neural monitoring, and they have possession and control over their own account or profile, neurological broadcast frequency, and they control who they want to be connected to. They control their broadcast settings, artificial telepathy broadcasts, hologram mind control broadcasts, connecting with somebody else's neural monitoring on, like if they're gang stalking somebody, and if they're on mind control, and they got when I say they're on mind control, that means that they've activated some settings to broadcast and receive, to have a connection with somebody or some broadcast. And the broadcast is waves, but it's on their frequency, and they can connect with their hologram type of broadcast made of broadcast waves, and that could be anything. Most likely a representation of themselves. If they want to be Santa Claus, they can be Santa Claus. If they want to be Barney the dinosaur, then they can broadcast as that. Okay, and it would be as simple as obtaining that software, that application of Barney the dinosaur broadcast. Okay, and they can broadcast that on neural monitoring. And when I say neural mind control, they put on a thing on their head usually, okay, and put some things over their eyes, and then in their mind, they see the vision of whatever they're connected to, whether that be another person or whether that be a broadcast hologram, and they can live as that. So they can live as you, right? So if I'm in another state right now, which I am, these gang stalkers in the south side of Atlanta, they can live as me and be where I'm at, even though they're at home. And that's how it really works. But all of those settings would be on your neural monitoring. And if you don't have control and possession of your neural monitoring, then whoever does gets to decide who comes on to your neural monitoring. So if you have it, then you can decide to turn everybody off and live your life private and don't connect to people if you don't want to. Or you could decide to. It's your decision. And that's ultimately what has to happen for this thing to work out. And the fact that neural monitoring and EMF broadcast exists means there's only one solution. Everybody has to have control, possession of their own neurological broadcast frequency to at least be able to protect themselves. You have to be able to keep other people from just connecting to you, to your neurological broadcast frequency, and receive every thought you have, everything your mind processes, including vision, feelings, everything, every single thing, imagination, all of it. And you let it all off, and it can all be read perfectly, and they can receive all of that. And in their mind, if I close my eyes and envision the big bag of money that I'm going to get at some point for having to go through all of this torture, they can see that big bag of money in their mind because they're receiving what I'm processing in my mind, whether it be real view from my eyes or whether it be imagination or whether it be me thinking my feet are cold or any other feeling, thought, or anything that your mind processes. They can receive that. All right, and if you have your own neural monitoring, you can control who is able to receive that, which would be nobody in my case. I'm not broadcasting my mind and my private thoughts to anybody, but I don't have a choice, okay? But they do, because they have access to neural monitoring, and they can control their own profile, their own neurological broadcast frequency. So that's how it works. And so this girl that has my neural monitoring, She likes to obtain, I think, buy people's neural monitoring based on their neurological broadcast frequency and then use it to try to destroy them, to gang stalk them. It's like a string of people that were associated with her that ended up having artificial telepathy and gang stalking. And, what it boils down to is a few things: slavery, for sure, human trafficking, for sure, because you're buying people's neural monitoring. And then that's so important as based on you and your mind and your private thoughts. You're buying neural monitoring. You're a human trafficker. You're holding people hostage and torturing people. That's slavery and torture, and it's attempted murder. And this group that's doing this to do live streams of people's lives and make money and everything else, it's also racketeering and a lot of other things, but those are some of the main things that it is that are very serious and very horrible. So now let's talk about this group of guys, some of these Howard Circle guys and all these guys of this gang, Viva La Crucial. They're all part of this gang. And this girl that has my neural monitoring is associated with these people. And so these 4 guys, and they have people that come on with them sometimes, but they're always there, okay? So it's 4 main guys. But they do these live streams, and this is what they do. They stay on mind control all the time, and they do live streams of humans' life that they are targeting with remote neural monitoring. And they could see you and see your view and know your thoughts. But here's the thing, too. They can use these hologram mind control broadcasts that they're living as while they're on mind control and controlling these broadcasts. They can use these broadcasts to physically penetrate your body and harm you in very painful and very harmful ways. So again, attempted murder is really what it boils down to. But these guys like Marcus, the one I've been talking about, this guy Marcus since 2015 or 16. All right, it's been 6 or 7 years. Been on my channel for the whole time, close to a decade. And as soon as he came out loud talking with broadcast telepathy, then he immediately started being the guy who bragged about it the most, about, how does that feel, when he does things with broadcast to hurt me. And it does hurt me. And they call themselves like torture mongers or whatever. So they've taken the time to become very experienced and to study these different areas that they can attack and the damage that it causes and the ways that they can hurt you the most without it being immediately apparent. Like if they were to just do something that I could go to the hospital and they say, oh, your microwave burned. What happened? They don't do that. But they saturate into like the bones of my foot, like really, I'll just show you a few things, okay? For one, like right here on my foot, they put broadcast right there on the side of my foot, like right through here, all day, every day. And that's been going on for months. There's a younger one of the 4, okay? And he's the one that I call Birthing Yak because of the way his voice has that Sam Kinison thing going on. And he was on back in 2016, and then he was off for a long time. And then, about closing in on a year ago, he came back on as a full-time with the other 3. And so it's been 4 full-time since then. He likes to attack my foot, okay? The main guy, not Marcus, but the other guy that came on with him in like early 16, he likes to attack my stomach area. And I know people that have had to have surgical procedures because of broadcast attacks on their abdomen area. My knee is the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing that they're attacking because Marcus always attacked right here. These tendons and stuff right here on the inside of my knee. And then lately, lately they stopped attacking that area, and I believe it's because you end up with like microwave scar tissue, and it can be evident of something like this happening. So they started attacking different areas. So now they're attacking the back of my leg and my knee area, like this main, like this big old tendon thing that comes across here. It's not a bone, but they attack that. And they do the same thing on this one on this side. And then they get all up into my leg right here. And, you know, it's like you can see the little broadcast faces and these guys. It's like with their little broadcast hologram people saturating into my flesh, and they do it, and it seems like it's causing like a bunch of fluid to build up around my knee, and like when they're doing it a lot, only when they're doing it a lot, and that's a big thing too, because otherwise it's not that. It's not really like a problem, and it's not, it's if they stop doing it, it's almost instantly better, but not completely, because they've done it so much that it's starting to cause some more of a permanent type of damage. But if I try to move I can move my knee, but like to move my knee all the way like this, I can feel all that pressure everywhere where there's broadcast, and they do it a lot now, and it's something they're doing every day. And it's like the more successful I become, and the more progress I make in life towards a position to be able to cause them real problems legally, because I'm going to gain enough knowledge and become financially prepared to attack this thing legally with the right resources. The closer I get to that, the more violent they become, and the more they're trying to debilitate me, specifically in ways to try to put just a roadblock in my way of any success. And they don't care if they cripple you. The one guy said one day, no, we don't feel bad. It's meant to hurt you. We're trying to do this, and it's true. But they study, like how they can make it hurt the most without it being immediately apparent or obvious. And they literally, with these little broadcasts, they attack me, and sometimes they hurt me so bad, and it becomes this thing where you're so desperate and you feel like you're gonna have to just risk it all and throw your life away to try to defend yourself. And it gets like that, and all the time. And the longer they're on mind control, the more demented and psychotic they act, and the less in touch with reality they seem to be. So it's like if they're on mind control, like doing these, living as a broadcast hologram for a long period of time, like many hours or days, they start to act so unreasonable and insane that that there's no way, that you're going to survive if you don't stop them. And they do stuff every day, and they take every opportunity. Like if I was to stub my toe, right, a minor toe stub, they would literally, with their broadcast, go in and start attacking that toe and make it seem like it was the worst toe stub ever, because that's the way that they can relate it to something that really happened, and they feel like it helps them get away with torture, like you don't know they're doing it. So you have to be very mindful of what's going on. A lot of times, like if I was to light up a cigar or something, right? And I'm sitting there with my cigar in my hand, like under the cigar, like on my leg, they'll start burning my leg. And it literally feels like the cigar fire fell off and started burning my leg. And I start looking, and I'm thinking like I burned a hole in my clothes or something. And it's not, nothing like that happened. But it's funny to them to sit there and burn your skin, to make you like freak out, like what just happened. Just little opportune moments. It's what they're always up to. And so this is why I say capital punishment for broadcast torture, because these grown men literally sit around all day, every day, for days, weeks, months, years, and decades. Okay, really decades and years, sitting around trying to perfect the art of torture and hurting people. And to them, that's what's fun. That's what's fun. That's what they like to do. They like to hurt people and torture people. And they study it. So they're able to use broadcast to attack somebody who's not in their face, who's not going to knock them in the next week and defend themselves, because you're somewhere else. And you don't have neural monitoring, so you can't exactly say, okay, it's this guy at this house. Now, like my case, I know a lot of people that are involved with this group. Okay? I know who the girl is that has control over my neural monitoring, that collaborates and has some sort of deal with these guys as they're like an organization. They're all they all claim, they don't say it anymore because I put it all out on the internet, but they all used to say it all the time. The girl, Emily and Kimberly, and the girl that has my neural monitoring, who I don't say because political reasons, and the Howard Circle guys and all of them, they used to say Viva la Crucial, Viva la, and they spell it like with an X. It's like XC, whatever. And they all say that this guy named Robert Lackey is the leader of their gang, and he is 100% a person that has access to neural monitoring and is a gang stalker. So, and that's it. And I don't care. I'll say it anytime I want to, because it's the truth. And I've been saying it for 7 years public, and I'll say it in the middle of a courtroom, and I'll say it with several lawyers standing behind me, and which is the direction that it's going. But he knows exactly who these guys are that are on my channel, that are on my neural monitoring, that are gang stalking and torturing, that are doing EMF broadcast mind control live streams every day of remote neural monitoring and targeting people with the specific intent to destroy, harm, or murder people for their own enjoyment and their own fear of getting caught and their own financial venture. Because they don't do anything else. They just sit on mind control all the time. And they're making money doing all these live streams and putting out all this content that has to do with mind control and broadcast stuff. And they're all over my devices, and they have been. They've been on my devices since 2013. Okay, this whole group of them, a whole bunch of them. They've all been onto my laptop. I should have been studying computer programming since then. By now, I'd already have my neural monitoring, and they would already have had to pay up or get lost or whatever. And, that's the facts. Everything I'm telling you is just facts. It's just facts. And I know a lot of people say a lot of different things. Oh, well, it's, a microwave direct energy weapon beam gun. And, oh, it's the FBI. It's the FBI. And, I see gang stalker people popping up in my comments every day. And it's the ones that insist on certain things to steer you in the wrong direction. They'll say, oh, yeah, right, no way that regular people can have this technology. But I know for a fact, and I've been saying it public for many years, and I'll continue to say it because it's the facts. That's it. And I'll stand by the truth, and the truth stands. And I'll be here. I'll be right here. And if it takes everybody else 20 years to figure out that I was telling the truth this whole time, hey, here I was, all the way back, telling you exactly what's really going on. Normal people have it. I know a lot of people that have neural monitoring. There's probably millions and millions of people that have neural monitoring. But, with billions of people, and I think, what is it, like 6 or 7 billion people on the planet? That's 6,000 or 7,000 million. So what if a couple million people have it? It's nothing, not even 1%. So yeah, definitely millions of people have neural monitoring. I've ran into too many. I've ran into too many. You see too many when they put your profile on public, because somebody has control over it. Somebody has possession and control over your neural monitoring. One person. One person has possession and control over it, even if they share it as a group. And you have a group of gang stalkers. You have one person that is deciding to let everybody else on it or not. And they possess those, like slavery, like human trafficking. And when one person who has your neural monitoring decides to put it on public, then everybody on neural monitoring that has access and control over their own, everybody that has neural monitoring, they can all see that, oh, look, this targeted person is in the area. You know, kind of like looking at Google Maps or something. And, you know, that's how street theater becomes a thing. You go to a whole nother city and you think everybody's involved because they see you on public. And so people, absolute strangers that have never heard of you or never seen you or that you don't know, they don't know you. And they can become part of your gang stalking. Gang stalking. It's gang stalking because of that. Because anybody can become involved and they don't have to know you or be part of the group or anything. Anybody who has neural monitoring access can become involved with the gang stalking. And that's a lot of that's the street theater stuff. When you got the hardcore people that stay on mind control and stay on one person's channel to target them for years and decades, those are the mind control junkies, the addicts. They love the way your mind works, you know. But it's crazy. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Something, you know, in public, street theater. I forget, man. It's just there's so much to all of this, but you definitely want to get your neural monitoring. I just remembered it's gang stalkers. Okay, a gang stalker can only really be a gang stalker unless, I mean, if they have access to neural monitoring and control over their own. Somebody who doesn't have access to neural monitoring and control of their own neurological broadcast frequency profile, claiming to be a gang stalker, is really gang stalking themselves, because all the real gang stalkers are laughing at them. And so these people that come out with these videos and say, you know, ex-gang stalker tells all, and they didn't tell you how to get your neural monitoring, and they're not really a gang stalker, or they really don't know what they're talking about, or they're a gang stalker that's trying to spread propaganda. A lot of this, if you don't know how it works, don't buy into a lot of this propaganda out there. It's BS, man. It really is. There's a lot of propaganda, and they want to steer people in the wrong direction. All right? You know, I hope my videos help you guys out, and you know, all I can do is say it. All I can do is tell the truth, and it's probably not, I don't know. It'll pay off in the end, but it's not really in my best interest at this time to be saying all of this stuff on YouTube. But it is the truth. I'll stand by it forever. I hope it helps you guys out. And that's it. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. I can promise you that it's the truth. All right? So that's what's going on. They keep attacking my knee. I'm trying to do my schoolwork, and they're attacking my knee and crawling in my ears and attacking my eyes and putting stuff in my eyes and crawling around my genital areas. Feels like static was moving around you. You know, like you just got your clothes out of the dryer, except for it moves all around you. And that's when they're not penetrating your body to actually, for like bone torture and for the, where it feels like you're being electrocuted and all that stuff. So they practice torture styles and how to do certain things with the right precision to hurt you the most without getting caught. But anyway, enough talking. It's a long video. Thank you guys for watching, and you'll see me again soon enough. Appreciate it.